Hey, folks, welcome back to Pretend World's Real People, and a very special welcome to all of you to this diffuser episode. I don't even have a title for this, but this episode is meant to be kind of a transitional episode between our old format into what will be the new format. But in this case, I just want to talk about a few things for a few minutes, and I'm the only one on camera, which makes it even more awkward. So I'm going to take a sip from my Casa Bonita mug, and we're just going to get going. This has been the summer of strikes. It's WGA and SAG. We all know what's going on, so I won't, retread the logistic of what's going on and why it's happening. But I'm hoping, fingers crossed, that both unions get what they're asking for. Especially myself being a member of SAG, I would love to know that what's being offered will be taken care of, and that we will be getting paid what we are owed. Some things that I'm also still waiting on residuals for that may never come to pass, but we'll see what happens. I don't want. Oh God, I can't. I've had 2 cups of coffee, and it's hitting me right now. So I'm gonna try and be as cohesive as possible. No promises, though. I'm gonna try, but no promises. I want to talk about what it's like being a working actor in a regional market with all this crazy stuff going on, what it's like hunting for a job, something I've wanted to talk about for the last year or so because it has been a journey, and then where the future of this show is going to be. What's going to happen with this format? Are things going to change when the strike's over? Will we go back? I don't know, but I do want to talk about what I have planned next for the show. So let's get started with the experience of being a working actor in a regional market when you are a union member, and it hasn't been too different, honestly, compared to previous years. I will say, the last 2 years or so were really, really building up. It seemed like last year it was going really, really well, and then this year it started, and then things were happening, strikes happened, and then of course, auditions are no go outside of commercials, SAG commercials, which I was thankful enough to be in this summer. So that really saved my hide financially. But everything else has just been kind of, meh. You can't really do anything, especially when you are a union member. You do union work. And if unions are on a strike, you're not doing anything else outside of what's been authorized. So I will say I'm thankful that I'm in a regional market and not in LA because my life doesn't revolve around this. Yeah, I mean, we have the podcast and all that, but I have other things in my life that keep me satiated, that I care about, and I love, being around and things I love doing. I will say, when it comes to the creative portion of it, though, one thing I've loved more than anything during, the slowest summer outside of COVID has just been going to acting class. And it's kind of funny because I wasn't sure if I would be the acting class person, if it was the right thing for me when I first started doing it right before COVID. And then 2 years ago, I joined a local studio. I was like, hey, we'll try it out for a couple months, see what happens. I've been there for almost 2 years. And I will say, having a community around you, especially for those who really relate to what's happening right now, having those people around you is the greatest gift you could ever ask for. I'm so thankful that I have, friends and who I consider family around me so we can talk about, hey, what are we going to do? If the strikes keep going, we're fighting for what we really believe in, but what can we do to keep ourselves creatively, satiated and make sure that we aren't getting rusty? So when things go back into full effect, we're suddenly behind 2 years. What can we do to keep ourselves active? So I will say, just being in class first and foremost has been a huge win this summer. Not only are we talking about the effects of the strike and I guess strikes and why that's affecting us, but how we can explore other avenues in our life to make sure that we're staying on top of things. So that all to say, this huge caffeinated rant. I'm incredibly thankful for having a community, for being in class so I can hone my skills, but just to remind myself why I'm doing this. It's because I found a place I belong. I was never a sports person. I was never somebody who was going to go into politics or anything like that. I'm somebody who I grew up idolizing certain people, and I took those attributes and developed my own. And I found a place that I really fit into. It's like a puzzle piece. So whether or not, work is coming in, work isn't coming in, I love going and working with those folks for, 3 hours a week, maybe even more if we're lucky, and just creating things together. So, if there's anything I can say about being a working actor in a regional market, especially when you're with a union, go to class or find a class, find a group. It doesn't have to be a class you pay for. Find a group you want to hang out with and, just kind of be creative with. That's the one thing I can say has saved me more than anything during the summer is just having those folks around me. Now, with all that being said, you have the creative part, you have your friends, but you still have to make money. And about a year ago, I left bartending to try being a working actor. I wasn't in the union yet, so I figured why not? We'll try it out. And it's going pretty solid. You have to budget, and of course, some months are horrible, some months are great. Just trying to navigate and anticipate as much as you can was something I really started to do. However, I was still working part time as a marketing person for a company, and part time. I was looking for something else to kind of supplement my income when those months were slower. But something uh, uh, I don't know, I've just gone into this TikTok rabbit hole of why the job hunt now is so much harder than it used to be. And I feel incredibly surprised, thankful. I don't even know what I'm saying right now that everyone's experience with the job hunt has been just as difficult as mine. I have a college degree, I have experience, I've done way more than bartending, yet I can't pick up a job outside of the service industry. So that's been a tough thing. I don't know, you know, uh, why it is so hard, or what's been shifting job wise. I mean, there are some ideas behind that, but I won't go down that rabbit hole with you right now. I just wanted to bring up, if and honestly, if anybody here is listening to this who loves the show, send us an email at pwrp.pod@gmail.com because I'd love to do an episode on this. And that's just looking for a job. You know, funny thing is, even some service jobs weren't picking up folks who were experienced for some strange reason. You'd get 2 interviews in, and then nothing would happen. It was insane. You get a very promising, like, "Yeah, okay, we're gonna be in contact, da, 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 da," and then you were ghosted. So, I don't know, is it worth exploring that avenue, especially from a creative mindset? A lot of us are, working 2 or 3 jobs just to, 1, keep our finances afloat, but also have the flexibility to act when we can or do something creative when we can. So I don't know if you have experience with that or you've had a very difficult experience, job hunting as a creative, send us over an evil. Oh my God. I need to get more water. Hold on. Water break. This is ridiculous. Send us over an email about your experience, just job hunting, and I'd be happy to talk about it on the show, or maybe we even have a huge Zoom discussion just talking about artists looking for work and seeing what comes of that. So yeah, I had to rant about that for a little bit because it's really funny when you have a college degree, you have experience, you have references, you have the skill set, and you can't get past like a second interview if you're lucky, especially for referral based jobs. And that's not a complaint at all. It's just something I started to, really acknowledge. God, maybe even last September onwards. Like, here's a pattern here, and I'm not sure why it's happening. It's insane. Uh yeah, so maybe we should do that. We should bring in, a couple different creatives in or out of the entertainment industry to talk about the great job hunt, especially during a summer of strikes. That brings me to a not so smooth transition when it comes to the future of this show. Time for another cost bonita water break. Direct eye contact. Sorry, this is going to be on YouTube too. So if if you're confused, just go watch the video. Go subscribe. I can't wait to get a bunch of crazy comments on this. Oh god, I need another one. Okay, hydrated. Now, the future of PWRP. This show has been going on for 3 years. In fact, the other week, we just celebrated our 3-year anniversary, which is just bonkers that a COVID-based project experiment has gone this long, and it's just been so rewarding. But with both strikes, with no one being able to promote anything, no one's working, and also creatives don't really want to talk about themselves unless there's something they can promote. Uh, we're just we're not those kinds of people, except for me. I'll talk about myself any day. Oh god, see caffeine. Anyway, I have a few different things I want to do for this show. I do want to keep the same concepts, when I can bring on guests to learn more about their experiences and hear their story. That's what I live for. That's the whole foundation of the show. I want to keep doing that when I can. However, since the strikes are going on and things are a little limited right now, I have a few things that I cannot wait to share with you in October. So we have about 2 weeks left of September. And, we'll have this episode, maybe another re-release. I don't want to keep doing those, but I will. And then in October, I want to really venture into the fall, Halloween, spooky, scary pumpkin spice latte season and dive right into just ghost stories, scary experiences, just make it a little creepy in October for this podcast. So keep an eye out for that because that's going to be a lot of fun. And I already have a few things lined up for that. I don't want to talk about it right now because if I start talking about it, I'm going to just spoil the heck out of it. So I'm not going to talk about it right now. I'm not going to do it. No, I'm not going to do it. Being on camera by yourself is so weird for the podcast. So yeah, there's no transition for this. I'm just recording this on a laptop and telling all of you that things are changing, hopefully for the better. Hopefully the strikes, both unions come out on top. I'm crossing fingers for it because as a member of SAG, yeah, I everything proposed, I agree with 100%. Let's do it. Let's not stop until we win this. Job hunt, just keep going. And if you've experienced the same crazy job hunt nonsense that I have, send us an email, pwrp.pod@gmail.com. And stay tuned for our spooky season. All month long, I have a bunch of stuff I want to do. And God, I want to talk about it so bad, but I can't. I'm going to shut up. So this is an awkward goodbye because I have nothing else to say. The rant is over. And I am You ever get so over caffeinated that there's no thoughts going through your head? You ever get that? Huh? Yeah. Yeah. Okay, bye.